HSN
France. No, Muriel and I, when we're at home, probably 99% of what we say, in fact, before the show, we were talking about the cookbooks, and we were speaking French. He said, no, don't speak French. I have to go on TV and speak English. So her adorable accent is because she's French.
Of course.
She's trained at the Cordon Bleu.
Yeah.
And with her books, don't let that scare you or intimidate you. She's someone who's busy, who's active, who's incredibly fit.
Yes.
So she doesn't want to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. She wants to create things that taste like they spent hours in the kitchen, but took just minutes, like her grandma's cauliflower. Every time I eat that, I still ask her, okay, I need to see the ingredients because this can't be healthy.
For sure.
But it is healthy. So she makes all sorts of wonderful foods, and the cookbooks are, all of the products I have are incredible values. You read about that in the reviews. There's no better value that gives you more opportunities for good health than changing the way you eat with those cookbooks.
For sure. All right, we're going to take you to the kitchen in a way, but not really. This is not like the cinnamon necessarily that you're putting on your coffee or in your smoothie or on your oatmeal. It is one of the highest reviewed products. Of course, all of Andrew's products are customer picks, but the cinnamon is a weekend special. Now, actually, we're grandfathering this pricing through Monday night at midnight. So we're grandfathering the pricing through Monday night at midnight. But regardless, this is Andrew's last day of birthday month. You choose the 30, 60, 120, or 240. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Look at these prices. The 30 count is only $10, $10.90. The 60 count is only $16. The 120 count is only $27. That 240 count size, that's the one that I get because in my family, you know, blood sugar metabolism is an area of concern for us, and Andrew will talk about that in a moment. But that's $20 off. It is free shipping. It is a 4.7-star customer pick rating. And I have to say, for those of us out there who take this product every single day, you waited for, I mean, people have been asking you to do something like, you won't do something until you can do it in the manner that you want.
Well, I mean, the law says there needs to be competent and reliable scientific evidence that supports, say, a structure or function claim in terms of our body. And so if someone would ask me 39 years ago, if they'd ask me, do you make a product that can help support healthy blood sugar metabolism? I'd say, well, the best we could do in that regard is really a multivitamin, making sure you have adequate levels of B vitamins, certain trace minerals. That's the best we could do. There's no specific botanical or other ingredient that had any science that I considered to be worthy of such a discussion. And at probably about 8-10 years ago, the scientific evidence started mounting on a proper extract of cinnamon bark. But again, before we do it, we don't tend to introduce a product until there's adequate science. And eventually, the science was adequate. Eventually, we were able to find, again, an ingredient that emulated the science. So you have to make sure, if the science is talking about a certain type of extract, that's the only kind of extract you want to put in the product. And that's what resulted in this product. And we probably introduced it, I'd say, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's
probably not much longer than that. And we haven't spent much time speaking about it on air, so most of the interest in this product has probably been driven by word of mouth.
It's true.
But it's an ingredient that if you read the research, you need to make sure that you're getting the proper extract that conforms, that follows that research. And that's what we've done with our cinnamon bark extract. And again, the proof is in the pudding. If this product did not work, it would not be getting the kinds of reviews that are virtually unanimously perfect. I think it's about 95%.
You're right.
If we look at the reviews there's 105 reviews, so get that. Out of the 105 reviews, no, that's our green tea.
That's the green tea.
But by the way, to look at the green tea, out of 105 reviews, 100 are 5- and 4-star reviews, so that's pretty amazing. But here, out of 600, is that 651 or 631?
You got it, 651.
651, 543, and then 53, so just 500, and is that 596? Out of 651 are 4- and 5-star reviews.
Wow.
So again, it's almost a unanimously positively reviewed product, and I carefully monitor the reviews. Yes, it feels good to read positive reviews, but it's important that I also read negative reviews, because that's how we've continued to improve products like this over the years. It only continues to get better and better.
Absolutely, and it's so easy to incorporate into your day too. Certainly, yes, keep putting that cinnamon on your smoothie or your oatmeal or your coffee or whatever you're doing, but arguably this is such an easy, soothing way to incorporate those blood sugar management benefits into your diet. And I think for a lot of us out there, I think we're looking for natural ways to help our body function at its most optimum. We just are.
And even if you're taking so many of the prescription drugs, what is it, metformin, things like that for blood sugar balance. And that's something I leave to your doctors. Well, of course, we want to, as I said before, manage our diet.
Sure.
So that our diet isn't making it more difficult, isn't increasing the challenges our body has in managing its blood sugar balance, in managing its insulin metabolism and blood sugar metabolism. So we want to monitor and manage our diet properly. We want to follow the guidance of our doctors in terms of whatever medications we're using. This is just a natural tool to support our own natural dietary efforts. That's why they're called dietary supplements. They're designed to supplement our diet with ingredients that enhance or support the goals we seek otherwise.
And I mean, at a value that I hope you take advantage of. I will tell you, this actually, we sell probably more off air than we do even on air.
I would say of cinnamon, that's absolutely the case.
Isn't that true?
With most products, they're reorder products. So even if we don't feature a product during a visit, which I do say I'm here 4 times a year, basically. We do a remote as well for 2 days, 4 times a year. And everything goes on special purchase pricing for that weekend. Even though I'm just on 6 hours, we'll do it for the weekend.
Yeah. So
during that weekend, even if we don't feature a product at all, if we don't talk about it at all, that's when it's a great opportunity to reorder, which reminds me that we will have everything that I make will be at special birthday pricing until midnight tomorrow.
Until midnight tomorrow.
So if you're getting close to reordering anything, and I'm often asked this question, it's all available, even if we don't talk about it during the shows. Everything is on birthday pricing in July until midnight tomorrow.
Awesome. So good to know. I will tell you, I go crazy after I'm off the air with Andrew. I make my little wish list, as many of you do, I know. So if it is time to reorder, if it is time to restock, like Andrew said, we will honor these prices through tomorrow night, Monday night at midnight. But definitely, this is time to take advantage of it. If anything, I mean, certainly the birthday savings and the weekend special is one thing, but the fact that it's in stock. And that's why I reference we probably sell more of this off air than even on air, because the people who take this for a number of reasons, like I said, blood sugar management in my family is an area of concern. I was so glad that, you know, Andrew did a product like this for me so that you can really, add it to your day and make it so seamless and so easy.
And with, I think right now, it's something like in America, about more than 1/3 of adults are overweight, and another 40% are obese.
Yes.
The body fat in our body just creates challenges with insulin metabolism, insulin insensitivity, and potentially pre-diabetes and things like that. And certainly this is not a cure or a treatment, but as long as we know that's going on, we need to do everything in our power to try to approach our optimum body weight, to try to modify our diet as our doctors instruct us to do, less carbohydrate, less sugar and things like that, and then follow our doctor's guidance and do what we can. And this is just an extension of a healthy diet in terms of providing tools to support something that we all want, which is we want to support our body's ability to manage glucose and manage and metabolize glucose. That's something that we struggle, unfortunately, because of our change in body composition and our becoming more sedentary.
For sure. All right, so I think we've got a couple of other things we're going to try to do.
Just quickly, I wanted to talk about berberine.